Welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning in on a topic that we feel should be discussed more often. So we really appreciate you all coming in. My name is Carol Jones, and I'm the Financial Planning Assistant for Urban Wealth Management, where we help you get your financial life in gear. And we welcome you to our Smart Women Savvy Money Club webinar at the top of the year. So happy 2022 to everyone. And men, of course, you are welcome to join us as well, as we have some excellent resources and tips for everyone. So we are so blessed that we are still able to do these webinars after 8 years, and we will be having our 10th year anniversary coming up this year. So please do look out for more announcements on that coming soon. And please note that we have changed our webinar layout to on demand, so that those of you who are busy working professionals can access our recorded webinars at any point. So we are still offering insightful webinars every month, excluding the month of December, usually during the holidays, to keep you updated with helpful financial and lifestyle tips that can transform your life. So with all that said, I'm just going to go ahead and share really quick our website. And I did want to just kind of show where you can find our latest blogs. And you can go on our homepage here at Urban Wealth Management, and under blog, events, and media, you can see our latest webinar for today. Let me just make sure you can see it. I'll just go back. And under menu, you'll be able to see under blog, events, and media, see our latest blog. And you'll also see the announcement about our changing our platform to on demand for our webinars. So you'll see all of our latest blogs here. And then under menu, you can also catch our upcoming events. And here you'll see today's webinar, which we'll post by Thursday, definitely. And you'll also see our upcoming webinar for February, which will be with Bella Wang, Planning for 2021, Tax Filing and Beyond. And so that'll be an amazing webinar where you'll get to find out the tax implications coming up for the year. You don't want to miss that. And if you want to go ahead and check out any of the recorded webinars that you missed and just kind of binge watch and go through to see, what you missed out on from last year, you'll see our last webinar from last year, our cybersecurity webinar with Zenobia Millett, and you'll also see our reverse mortgages with Janice Cohen and a lot of our other webinars that we have listed here. So go ahead and take a look and check those out. So that's our website. Go ahead and check out our resources, and I'm going to go ahead and go back. All right, and so now finally, let's talk about financial education. So today's topic is 3 steps to creating and maintaining financial wellness for 2022. According to a CNN report based on a September 2020 study, not earning enough and not saving enough, along with job loss, contributed to a 50% higher risk of depression symptoms during the pandemic. That's pretty staggering. These stressors are still very real today. And in the year 2022, it has been difficult for many people to recover, and we believe it should be talked about more. So, however, we have to remember that improving our financial and mental wellness is all about shifting our mindset. So here to help us change our perspective and offer some insightful tips is Miss Dynasty Maitland. I gotta say, Miss Dynasty Maitland here. I've had the pleasure of connecting with Miss Dynasty through another professional contact of ours, and she is a financial coach on the rise, on a mission to educate others on living their best financial life. And just to share a little bit more about her wonderful bio, she's a New York native, and she's a certified financial coach who teaches high income earning professionals how to build wealth so they can have more freedom with their time and money to do the things that they really desire. As an Afro-Latina and first generation college soon-to-be graduate of Russell Sage College, congratulations. She understands the importance of financial education and how it can transform generational wealth for families. Dynasty is on a mission to bring peace and confidence to others so that they can see their financial legacy as a reality. So without further delay, take it away, Dynasty.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Carol. I appreciate that. I am going to share my screen to get started. And let's hope this goes well. Okay, perfect. So hi everyone, my name is Dynasty Maitland, as Carol said. Today I'm going to be talking about financial wellness in 2022 and how to achieve that. So I'm going to start by introducing myself. I know she already gave a little blurb about me, but and just my financial journey. So I was actually born and raised in New York City, in Queens by my grandmother. And my grandmother was actually an accountant at Chase Bank for 30 years. So if you can imagine, we grew up here just hearing her preach a whole lot of stuff about finances, how to manage your money well, investing, and the importance of all those things, especially as single women in America, single woman of color, I should say, in America. So with that foundation, that kind of like just sparked my interest in finances and just understanding money better, how to manage it. And by the time I was 20, so I was a junior in college at that time, I had actually hired my first financial coach. And that was a really powerful time for me because although I grew up with a grandmother who was in the accounting field, we still did not have like deep, open conversations about money. So it was still something I had to learn how to manage on my own as far as creating a budget, opening like bank accounts and all that stuff. So those are some really pivotal moments, and they just really inspired me to help and impact other people, which is what I'm doing now. The piece that I got from being able to work with them and have their accountability and have someone by my side was something that I want every woman of color to experience, or every woman in general, whether she's single, raising kids, or just a single woman or married. I want women to feel empowered about finances and not like it's this topic that they're not capable of, comprehending or understanding. So that is a little bit about me and why I'm passionate about finances. So I'll get started. And first, I wanted to talk about what is financial wellness. And maybe some of you guys know this already, but how I described financial wellness, and this is kind of like a blurb of what I put together. To me, it's when you're able to control either your day-to-day, month-to-month, and you have the freedom and security to deal with financial emergencies and still stay on track with your day-to-day and month-to-month what is it called? Finances, fixed expenses, that's the word I'm looking for. You're still able to stay up to date and maintain your fixed expenses while encountering financial emergencies, right? And still stay on track to meet your long-term financial goals as well. So that is in a nutshell of what financial wellness is to me. And so why is financial wellness important? So I like to paint it this way, and I wrote these bullet points here. And what made the most sense to me is kind of painting a picture of thinking about, we talk about self-care a lot in our culture and our society. And what happens when you neglect your emotional health, your physical health, your mental health? I'm sure you guys have your own specific examples, but you may, increase in stress. Your immune system may weaken. You may become more irritable and not want to hang around people or talk to people, or you may become more reactive and yell at your kids or the next person that's around you. And so when you fail to really take care of yourself emotionally, physically, or mentally, it can snowball into bigger problems, into burnout, into just making more mistakes. And that's no different with your finances. Like, nothing at all. when you take the time to focus on your money affairs, your financial issues that you struggle with, whether it's emotional financial issues or paying things off, those things start to go away because you're giving it the time that it needs to be taken care of, if that makes sense. So the next slide. So we talked about what financial wellness is, why it's important. And so now we want to go into how to become financially well. What does that look like for you in your specific situation? And so here is the foundation. And I always love to lay a foundation for people, for my clients that I work with. I like to prepare people for the journey that is up ahead. So in 2022, if you want to maintain your financial wellness, realize that it's going to take some effort. And that's with anything that's worth doing. Oftentimes we think that, self-care may mean going to spas or taking bubble baths or doing things that are fun and comfortable. But sometimes self-care might mean to do the thing that you don't want to do, but it's best for you. So health-wise, that may mean making or drinking a green smoothie. Or that may mean, like for me right now, something that works for me is like drinking apple cider vinegar. I can't stand apple cider vinegar, but it works for my body. I always feel better. I'm always shedding weight when I drink it. And so I had to find ways to incorporate that inside of my diet. So now I make like a little apple cider vinegar tonic with like, peach tea and some honey. And what else do I put in it? Water. And so just being able to care for yourself in that way financially, that like it may mean you may have to do things that you don't like to do. So that is point number one. Point number two is, I think I said this already, you're going to need to set aside some time to establish your foundation, to build a plan. Maybe you had a plan and then 2020 came and now things have changed, your mindset have changed. Maybe you need to revisit that plan again. And then for the rest of this presentation, I'll be going through some suggestions of things that you can incorporate in that plan. So the next slide. So the first step that you want to incorporate inside of your financial plan is considering and thinking about your money mindset. And I put this as the first step because this is going to set you up for long-term success beyond 2022. And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with what your money mindset is or where it comes from, but your mindset around money is basically a set of attitudes or beliefs that you've developed through either your culture, religion, gender, your childhood upbringing, education that you have, where you grew up. Like all those things play an important role as to how you think about money, how you relate towards money. And so some of the times you can have good mindsets or beliefs about money. And then sometimes some of those mindsets and beliefs can hold you back. And so something you want to do is identify and start to unlearn some of those myths or behaviors, some of those things that are keeping your relationship with money in a bad place or keeping you stuck. So, for example, with me, a myth I had to unlearn was I had this fear of abandonment with money. And I actually had this epiphany because I go to therapy for like, emotional issues, family issues. And we were working on like my fear of abandonment. And then just like one day out of nowhere, I had this epiphany that, oh my goodness, I feel the same exact way, not just about people abandoning me, but also money abandoning me. And so oftentimes I had sort of this scarcity mindset that like I needed to be frugal all the time and save and like hoard and just always keep money around me, right? So going back into your childhood or into, maybe it was something that happened 5 years ago, and thinking about some unhealthy beliefs that you may have had. And you can do that through journaling, going to therapy, hiring a financial professional in your life, and just having a conversation with someone else and exposing those things. And then another cool activity that I recently started doing with myself and with a few clients that I've had come on is to identify the version of a healthy relationship with money. And I did that because oftentimes we tend to write down a list of like the ideal characteristics we want in a spouse. And I believe that we can do the same thing with our relationship with money. I've had some clients say that they want to have a relationship with money where they feel confident, they feel calm or easy or consistent or steadfast, right? There's no anxiety. There's no frustration with that. There's no, um, you know, desperation or fear or anything. They just want a peaceful relationship with money. So I encourage you to maybe think about and journal the type of relationship with money that you want to have with money, because then that will start to help you to decide, okay, what are some things that I need to do to get there? And then these questions that I have up here: what keeps your relationship with money in a negative place? And then, yeah, discover what a healthy relationship with money looks like for you and for your life and for your value system and the goals that you want to accomplish. So that is your mindset. And then here is your plan. So the first thing that you want to do in your plan is obviously familiarize with yourself where your money is going, what is happening right now in your bank accounts, and your just with your money in general. How much money is coming in, how much money is going out. I know a lot of people don't like the word budget, but maybe you may need to say a spending plan or a cash flow plan for yourself, whatever it is, so that you're able to itemize and say, okay, this is how much money is going out to entertainment or living expenses, rent, etc. Just so you have an idea and that there's no guessing and there's no uncomfortability there. And then the second phase I think would be beneficial is learning how to diversify your income and create multiple streams of income. Carol, you were sharing that statistic earlier, that it is the lack of money or having more money and then also not having an adequate savings account as to why people felt financially unwell in 2020. And so one of the ways you can increase your income is to diversify it. Maybe the only thing you have right now is a 9-to-5 job, or maybe you're an entrepreneur and the only thing you have is your full-time business. So you might want to diversify it in developing other businesses, or start out as a side hustle, or an investment, or starting something like real estate if that's a place where you're at right now. Maybe just doing one property and having that as some sort of residual income. That's one idea. And there are tons of videos on YouTube or just different places you can go to really learn how to monetize your skill set. So that is number 2. Whoops, I went ahead. So diversifying your income, that is number 2. Number 3 is growing your cash reserve and really bulking up on your savings account. I think everyone felt that pressure when 2020 hit, and it was like, oh snap, I don't have as much savings as I need or as much savings as I wanted. I thought I would have more time to save money or at least grow, more than what I have now. I know I definitely felt that way. And so really making it a priority to really build your savings account, identifying how much you would need to either have for 6 months or 12 months or 18 months. I think I was listening to an audio where they were saying like the average recession or something like that lasts about 12 to 18 months. So maybe having a buffer of 18 months worth of expenses, especially if you are working for yourself or if your income varies month to month, just having that backing so that should we hit another recession or a COVID or something like that again in the future, you feel a little bit more comfortable. So the question I want to ask you to grow your cash reserve is, how much do you need to live? How much will you feel comfortable living off of? How much do you want to have in your savings account? So that is your cash reserve. And then number 4 is take action on your debt. And I want to ask you, what debt payoff method works for your situation? Because I've had clients where the snowball method worked for them, and then the other method of paying off their highest interest debt first was the best way to go. So I think it depends on what type of debt that you have. Is it just student loan debt, or is this credit card debt, high interest credit card debt? Are these medical expenses? I know that's a big reason nowadays for debt. And so you want to evaluate, what is the best method? Is it doing the snowball effect, paying off your smallest debt first and then going to the highest one later? Or is it really doubling down and paying off that high interest debt and then just going to the smallest interest after that? So evaluate what is the best situation for yourself, and ask a financial professional, an advisor, or a coach if you need that input. And then number 5, I put take advantage of free retirement money and investing in general. So maybe you are working at a corporate America job and they're doing like a 401k and they have a match. I know a lot of corporations nowadays are not, having a match, like unfortunately mine doesn't. But if they do have a match, definitely take advantage of that free money. And if you even aren't able to put up to that full match, I had a financial coach say to me a long time ago, like, Dynasty, just start where you can. And then as you get a raise or as you make more money, however that works for you, do a side hustle, grow 1% more each and every year until you're able to hit that full match. So if that's a place where you're at, consider doing something like that, or just putting what you can until you actually get there. And then investing in the stock market or just other places doing trading and different things like that. I would also recommend do your research and get some practice in before you start to really put money in places that you didn't study. Do your research, study, ask some professional investors that you know, like, and trust, and see if that is a good option for you and your family, because investing is a key portion into building wealth. And then the last thing I have is just continuing to learn and grow. And I think that that's probably the biggest thing along this plan, is just to continue to learn and grow, because things are going to change. The stock market is going to change. Different things around financial literacy may change, or you may just learn things that you didn't know before. So continuing to learn and grow is definitely a key thing along your financial journey, because your financial journey is going to be for the rest of your life. So definitely stay open to learning. And I believe that is it. Yes, that is it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dynasty. Such amazing gems that you just dropped. I love it.
Mhm.
And I love that it's all about accountability. And it's also, like you mentioned, side hustles, not being ashamed if you have to work those extra side hustles, that's
Right.
fine. And, also being able to work a full-time job, a part-time job until you can launch that entrepreneurial dream that you have as well. So it's okay.
Yeah.
And with that, I know you kind of touched upon it. What would you say to someone who is a bit fearful about investing in the stock market right now with all of the volatility going on? What, from your financial coaching perspective, what, words of wisdom would you share with them?
Yeah, that is actually a really good question because it's a very emotional place to be, I think. And, you know, unfortunately, there will be times, whether it's with investing or just with money in general, that the market is going to take a turn and things are going to go sour, and you may lose money, you might not. And so I think it's one, having the ability to keep your emotions in check and understanding that, this is what you signed up for. Like all of us getting into, investing in the stock market, we understand, or that financial professional should be telling you that this is what's going to happen, that the market is going to be volatile and it's a very normal thing. And to just understand that dips are a part of the process, and that it's not a matter of if the stock market is going to take a dip or go down, it's just a matter of when. And when it does happen, it's going to go right back up over time, and it's okay. And you are still going to be able to accomplish your financial goals if you stick with it and don't allow your emotions to get the best of you and, pull your money out. It's really about having a long-term mindset, I believe.
Yes, I agree. It's all about the long term. So just hang in there for the ride is what I say.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yes, and I have one little final fun question that I wanted to ask you was just what book do you recommend for financial wellness or that you've loved reading over the course of your career?
Yeah, that's a good question. Oh my gosh, I read like so many. Um,
Not to put you on the spot.
no, that's fine. I really, really like um the Budget Nista's book,
Okay,
How
yeah.
to Get Good with Money, or Get Good with Money. I think that's what it's called.
Yes, Tiffany
Yes,
Liche. I love it.
yes, Get Good with Money.
Okay.
That has been a transformational book that I still go back to just to pull little bits and pieces from there. So
Got it. Awesome. That's definitely an excellent read. A lot of my
yeah,
friends and myself, love her and have that book. So great. Thank you so much for that recommendation.
yeah, of course.
So that pretty much concludes our Smart Women Savvy Money webinar. We thank you so much. And Smart Women Savvy Money community, if you have any questions after seeing this webinar, we're going to be posting it all around, letting people know in our social medias that you can send us some questions in the chat, especially in our Smart Women Savvy Money Facebook group. Let us know what any post questions you have after listening to this webinar. For me, it seems like some very simple, important, like going back to the basic tips about how to keep our financial wellness in check. So definitely let us know your feedback and what questions you have. And again, thank you so much, Dynasty. You've been wonderful. We really appreciate you for speaking here with Urban Wealth Management and Smart Women Savvy Money. And thank you everyone for watching, and have a wonderful rest of your week. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.